Welcome back to the Brent's Hockey Network. I am Brent, your host for the Brent's Hockey Network, and I'm here. I'm back. We have done the off season of the GM League. It took forever, and then we simmed through the preseason. That took forever. So, first team we're going to do St. Louis, because they didn't have a preseason game. I don't know if that's a glitch. I don't know if that is something that goes wrong, usually. But, they didn't have a preseason game, St. Louis. So, time to move on. Okay, next team we're going to talk about is the New York Rangers. They started off with the New York Islanders. They beat them 4-1 at home. It is Kovalchuk from Lemieux, Kravtsov from Broussard and Lafreniere, Kreider from Kakko, and Kreider from Strome and Kakko. Then they end up beating Vancouver in a shootout at home 3-2. It is Kakko from Strome and D'Angelo, then Kreider from Hutton and Trouba on the power play. And Horvat, Pedersen, and Granlund missed Panarin, Strome, and D'Angelo with the only goal in the shootout. Then you played at home against the Buffalo Sabres and beat them 3-2. It's a comeback victory. Lafreniere from Kravtsov and Johnson, and Kreider from D'Angelo and Trouba. And yet again, D'Angelo with the only goal in the shootout. For Buffalo, Eichel, Reinhart, and Skinner missed. For New York, it was Panarin and D'Angelo. Then you lost a game at home 3-1 against the Minnesota Wild. The only goal scored by Kreider from Strome and D'Angelo on the power play. Then you won away from home at Nashville 4-2. It's Kakko from Kreider and Strome from Panarin, Broussard from Sheedle and Hayek, and then Kreider from Kakko and Fox into the empty net. Last game of your preseason, you won at home 3-2 against Detroit. It is Zibanejad from Buchnevich and Panarin on the power play. Panarin from Buchnevich and Hayek. And then Kreider from Hutton and Strome on the power play. So, this preseason, you went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, and 0. This preseason, New York Rangers. Next is LA. You start off with a win away from home against Philadelphia 3-2 in regulation. Svadnin from Anthony Ciu and Siegenthaler on the power play. Kopitar from Iafallo and Mata. Then Anthony Ciu from Anderson and Hamonic. Then you lose 4-2 at home against Tampa Bay. It is Kopitar from Hoffman and Mata on the power play. Then Iafallo from Kopitar and Hoffman. Then you beat Calgary away from home 4-3 in overtime. It is Iafallo from Siegenthaler and Vatanen on the power play. Kopitar from Iafallo and Bjornfot. Then Kipe from Anthony Ciu. And then Byfield from Mata in the overtime. And then you beat the Islanders at their home 3-1. It is Holla from Anderson and Siegenthaler. Then it's Holland from Bjornfot and Hamonic. And then Duclair from Mata into the empty net. Then you lost to the Anaheim Ducks 3-2 away from home. It is Iafallo from Byfield and Athanasiou on the power play. Then it's Hoffman from Duclair on the power play. Then you won at home 4-2 against Winnipeg. It is Iafallo from Athanasiou and Byfield on the power play. Halla from Siegenthaler and Vatanen. And Byfield from Kempe and Duclair. Iafallo from Kopitar and Hoffman into empty net. So this preseason, you have the record of 4-2-0. Next one is Pittsburgh. You won away from home against New Jersey 4-3 in a shootout. It is Crosby from Rust and Getzel on the power play. Getzel from Pedersen and Letang on the power play. And then Kapanen from Malkin. Then, in the shootout, Crosby with the only goal. Malkin missed. Gusev missed. Hischier missed. And Subban missed. Then they won away from home against San Jose 5-2. It is Crosby from Rust and Getzel. Jozog from O'Connor and CC. Then Getzel from Matheson and Crosby on the power play. Lafferty from O'Connor and Moreno. Then it's Rust from Pedersen. Then they won 4-2 in a shootout against the Tampa Bay Lightning. And all goals on the power play. Is Zucker from CC and Malkin on the power play. Rust from Getzel and Crosby on the power play. Rust from Matheson and Letang on the power play. And then Matheson from Crosby and Getzel on the power play. And they beat Colorado at home 5-2. Is Kapanen from Zucker and Malkin. Kapanen from Malkin and Zucker on the power play. Kapanen from Zucker. Dumoulin from Crosby in the empty net. And then Acid Reese from Matheson and Malkin in the empty net. Then you won at home 5-2 against the Philadelphia Flyers. It is Zucker from Kapanen and Moreno. Acid Reese from McCann and Pedersen. Then Moreno from Tanev and Acid Reese. Then Getzel from Rust and Matheson. And then Getzel from Rust and Matheson on the power play. Then they lost in overtime 3-2 against the New York Islanders. It is Zucker from Kapanen and Malkin, then Drozog from Lafferty and McCann. And then you won at home 4-2 against the Anaheim Ducks. It is Malkin from McCann and Pedersen on the power play, Lafferty from Aston Reese and Dumoulin, and Malkin from McCann and Kapanen, then Zucker from Kapanen and Moreno in the empty net. So far, this month, you went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0-1. Pittsburgh, 6-0-1. It is Boston's turn. They won at home 4-1 against Ottawa. It is Krejci for Bennett and Pasternak. Bergeron for Pasternak and Lazan. Cachet from Moore and Krejci on the power play, and then Bennett from Grzelcyk and McAvoy. Then you beat Columbus away from home 3-0. It is Marchand from Grzelcyk and McAvoy on the power play. Bergeron from Pasternak and Marchand, then Marchand from Pasternak and Clifton. Then you beat Winnipeg away from home 6-2. It is Marchand from Clifton and Bergeron. Pasternak unassisted. Pasternak from Marchand and Bergeron. Bennett from Grzelcyk. Lentazzi from Smith and Steen. Then Cachet from DeBrusk and Clifton. Then you beat them at home 4-2 against Nashville. It is Pasternak from Marchand and Bergeron. Pasternak from Marchand and Grzelcyk on the power play. Bennett from Lazan and Krejci. Then it's Bergeron from Marchand and Pastrnak. And then you lost to Edmonton 3-4 away from home. It is Bennett from Krejci and Lazan, Bergeron from Grzelcyk and McAvoy on the power play, then Ritchie from Grzelcyk and McAvoy. Then you win away from home 4-2 against the Capitals. It is Smith from Steen and Studnicka, then Marchand from Pastrnak and Lazan, then Moore from DeBrusk and Krejci on the power play, then Clifton from Bergeron in the empty net. So, you went 5-1-0 this preseason, Boston. Next is Toronto. Your first stop is at home against Toronto, and you beat them at home against Arizona, and you beat them 5-2. Is Matthews from Riley and Hyman on the power play, Marner from Matthews, Riley from Hollowell and Hyman on the power play, then Marner from Matthews and Martinez, and then Mikheyev from Lehtinen on the power play. Then you beat Colorado 5-2 at home. It is Matthews from Hyman, Riley from Marner and Hyman, Tavares from Nylander and Riley, Hyman from Tavares and Nylander, and then in the empty net is Helander from Lehtinen in the empty net. Then you win away from home 5-2 against Edmonton. It is Mikheyev from Hollowell and Tavares, Brooks from Anderson and Hyman, Nylander from Duzak and Lehtinen on the power play. Then it's Nylander from Tavares and Mikheyev. Then it's Riley from Matthews in the empty net. Then you lose 2-0 away from home against Florida. Then you beat the Chicago Blackhawks 7-3 away from home. Is Nylander from Argenchev and Riley, Matthews from Marner and Riley, Tavares from Marner and Martinez, Mikheyev from Tavares, Mikheyev from Nylander and Tavares on the power play, Matthews from Nylander and Rubens, and Hollowell unassisted on the power play. And then you lost 3-4 away from home against Tampa. It is Tavares from Marner and Riley, Nylander from Lehtinen and Duzak on the power play, then Marner from Lehtinen and Tavares. Toronto went 4-2 this preseason. Next is Dallas. You lost at home 2-1 to Minnesota. It is Kiviranta from Faxa. Then you lost away from home to Florida 1-0. Then you lost at home 4-2 to San Jose. It is Hintz from Pavelski and Ben. Then Robertson from DeAndrea and Klimber. Then you beat Vancouver at home 3-2. It is Gurianov from Dickinson and Radulov on the power play. Ben from Pavelski and Harley. Then Simone from Kiviranta and Honka. Then you won in overtime 2-1 against Columbus at home. It is Dickinson from Harley and Klimberg. Then DeAndrea unassisted. So Dallas this preseason, you went 2-3. Next is Carolina. You beat Columbus at home 6-2. It is Bonk from Suzuki and Fleury. Teravainen from Natchez and Hamilton on the power play. Bonk from Geeky. Trocheck from Shea and Pesci on the power play. Bonk from Natchez. And then it's Fleury from Teravainen and Snetchka. Then at home, you beat Philadelphia 3-2 in overtime. It is Shea from Aho and Teravainen, Niederreiter from Suzuki and Bear, and then Suzuki from Bear in the overtime. Then you beat the New York Islanders at home 4-3. It is Niederreiter unassisted, Snetchka from Trocheck on the power play, Suzuki from Barrett and Natchez, and then Drouin from Natchez and Shea. You beat Tampa Bay away from home 4-1. It is Natchez from Drouin and Hamilton, Natchez from Hamilton and Snetchkov on the power play, Snetchkov unassisted on the power play, and then Fast from Bonk. Then you lost away to Arizona 4-2. It is Natchez from Teravainen and Hamilton on the power play, then Suzuki and Niederreiter. And then you lost away from home 3-4 against the Avalanche. It is Hamilton from Slavin and Teravainen, Natchez from Aho and Drouin, and then Fogle Geeky and Niederreiter. Carolina this preseason went 4-2-0. Next is the Montreal Canadian. You won at home 3-2 against the Washington Capitals. It is Anderson from Vezina. Then it's Gallagher from Suzuki and Tatar, and then Gallagher from Suzuki and Tatar. Then you beat Nashville at home 2-1. It is Paling from Kakanyemi and Mate on the power play. Then it's Toffoli from Paling and Kakanyemi. Then you beat Columbus in the shootout away from home 4-3. It is Anderson from Paling and Petrie, then Suzuki from Gallagher and Tatar, and then Suzuki from Gallagher and Tatar on the power play. And Suzuki and Petrie are the only ones who scored in the shootout for Montreal to win. Then you lost in overtime 5-6 against Ottawa. It is Gallagher from Bandizi and Romanov, Suzuki from Tatar and Gallagher, Toffoli from Bandizi and Dauphin, then Suzuki from Tatar and Gallagher, and then Toffoli from Mate and Kakanyemi on the power play. Then you lost away from home against Vegas 3-2 in a shootout. It is Toffoli from Petrie and Mate, and then Toffoli for Tatar and Kakanyemi. Montreal, you were 2-0-2 in the preseason. This is the end of the preseason GM episode. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that notification bell. Click it in the description below for all social media and the link to the Discord server. Be safe out there. I know it's been rough for the Southeast the last couple of days, and I'll see you then.